Thank you, Ewan. Now, the cross-examination of state witness Darren Fresco resumed on Wednesday, after which a mock-up toilet cubicle was set up in the High Court with a door to help simulate what happened as senior police officer of the Forensic Science Laboratory, Lieutenant Colonel Johannes Vermeulen, took to the stand to testify about the cricket bat Pistorius used to bash open the door of his toilet and about the door itself through which he shot his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp. But the processing of evidence and the competence of the South African Police Service's Forensic Department came under close scrutiny by Advocate Barry Roux yesterday. Now, with us on the line is Mooki, journalist at The Star, to summarize the day's events for us. Omphi, thank you very much once again for taking our call. Let's start off with that. I think a lot of people might have been wondering yesterday whether the toilet door that was used there and the cricket bat, were they replicas or were they the exact objects that were at Oscar's house that night?
Good morning. The door and the bed were the exact ones that were used at Pistorius' house. Police set up the toilet, a replica of the toilet, but they used the same door and the bed. And when Colonel Vermeulen testified yesterday, he pointed out the marks on the bed and the door where the marks on the bed made indisputable match with the marks on the door, saying that the marks on the door were consistent with it being bashed with the bed. So both the bed and the door were those that they collected from Oscar Pistorius' house.
Yeah. Now, I know there was a lot of talk about, how the evidence was handled and so on, but just firstly, before we get to that, just take us through some of the details of Colonel Vermeulen's testimony and his demonstration of how the toilet door was bashed down.
Okay. Remember that during the bail application, Pistorius had told the court that after firing the shots at the door, after he thought that there was an intruder, and shouting for Riva to call the police, when Riva didn't respond, he had realized at that moment that it might have been Riva in the toilet, not the intruder. He had run back to the bedroom and realized that Riva wasn't in the bed. He put on his prosthetic legs, ran back to the bathroom, and then he kicked the door, trying to open it. And then he had gone back to the bedroom to fetch his cricket bat.
Yes.
Bashed the door. But what came out yesterday was that police only focused on the state's case that the door was hit with a bat. Mm-hmm. They didn't look into possibilities that Pistorius could have kicked the door with his prosthetic legs. And Advocate Barry Roux said that they're going to bring an expert to show the court that Pistorius had indeed kicked the door while trying to open it.
Yeah. So, I mean, by the sounds of it, does it sound that like the testimony by Colonel Vermeulen necessarily contradicts Oscar Pistorius' original testimony?
It's a bit difficult to tell. In a way, it does contradict what he says, but then it also points out to police not looking at all possibilities. He went there and then he only focused on the state's version that the door was only hit by a cricket bat. He didn't look into the possibility that Pistorius could have kicked the door with his prosthetic legs. And when asked yesterday why, on the other marks below the doorknob, what he said was that it must have been Pistorius walking on the door panels that had fallen on the ground while he carried Riva from the toilet downstairs.
Yeah. Now, it became very interesting yesterday in the court case when Barry Roux then went forward with questioning Colonel Vermeulen about exactly, what happened and how the damage to the door was sustained. Take us through some of his questionings and the tactics he used to illustrate how the door acquired the damage.
Okay. There were pictures taken last year that were shown in court yesterday. In those pictures, there were no marks on the door. But the door that was in court yesterday, there were distinct marks on it. And what Barry Roux said was that pointed to shoddy police work and that they failed to preserve evidence accordingly. He pointed out that there were shoe marks on the door. Remember last year when the initial investigating officer testified at the bail hearing, Hilton Botha, he had said that he had gone to the house and he had not worn protective gear. Yeah. So, I think the two stories link up to indicate that police, in their handling of sensitive evidence, they tend to be a bit reckless. And we've seen that with a number of other cases, murder cases like the Eugene Terreblanche case, where a tooth was found at the scene days after police had combed the scene for evidence. So it's a bit worrying, and it shows that precautions were not taken to ensure that this door was not affected in any way.
Yeah, and indeed some are saying that this could be quite a crucial turn and twist in the tale of the Oscar Pistorius murder trial. Omphi, thank you very much for taking our call. We look forward to chatting to you again tomorrow. Thank you. Now, Roux' grilling of the South African Police Service's Forensic Department is set to continue today with the key questions around missed evidence and other issues of the police investigation taking centre stage. Now, if Oscar's defence can prove that the police botched the investigation, it might be Oscar's best chance at victory, one might say. Now, we want you to share your thoughts on our Facebook page and please also on our Twitter @Expresso Show and give us a call on 083 913 3728. The question we're asking today is, do you think the police's investigation might be the straw that breaks the camel's back in this case? Let us know what you think. We'll be taking your calls, reading your comments after this break. Also remember that you can follow more in-depth details about the trial by visiting www.sabcnews.com.